Jets fans, rejoice, for we finally have good offensive game tape to break down. Hallelujah. Welcome to Pan Am Football. I'm Max Dean. You can find me on Twitter at Pan Am Football. Couple of things super fast. I want to get this out before the Colts game tonight so people have a chance to watch it. One, thank you, Jeff, for the green screen. I haven't had a chance to set it up yet. It's literally right behind me. Two, thank you for those who have been supportive of me not being around very much lately. I've been doing my best. I appreciate it. Number three, Jets fans, I am one of you. So I've been waiting for this too. And if you are a Colts fan, welcome. You'll get a little taste of what's coming tonight, and you'll see, I don't know, if he can repeat or if you have something a little bit more in the tank for him. And if you're a fan of any other team, let me know if you want me to do your team and what you liked about the video. Of course, like and subscribe. And aside from that, let's watch some Dag-Gum Mike effin' White game tape. So let's take a look at the first play from scrimmage. He just looks so comfortable, and it's almost surprising. So right there is Greg Van Roten getting beat terribly, and all he does, just step back a little bit, don't flee the pocket, don't get stressed, just step out of the way, toss a completion. That's a good way to start. So this is the second play, and I'm not just going to go in order for the whole thing, but I really like the play call here because the linebackers do not respect the quarterback yet. So they bite hard on the play action and leave it wide open. There is a downfield holding call from a wide receiver, but it's still a first down, and it's a good start to the game. Kind of gets things in motion, but you see how comfortable he is. Now this is the quick game. We're going to go through it quickly because there are a lot of plays. I'm not going to break down every single one, but I want you to see that most of these routes are extremely similar. You're going to see a lot of hitches, a couple of slants, and a lot of flat routes. And if you hit those consistently, it's very effective. Now, in this particular play, Ty Johnson is going to run to the flat. The linebackers in man coverage kind of gets naturally picked off there. If you can read what the linebackers are doing, you can beat them up all day if you have receivers who are on the same page as you. Here's another one, just a little stop route. And if you know the linebackers can't close quickly enough, it's pretty straightforward. The trick is just go through your reads quickly, complete the pass. Now, the trick defensively, and you're going to see some of this here, is basically hope for mistakes. It's hard to be perfect. Here's a tipped ball at the line of scrimmage that would have been a completed pass otherwise. Here is another one, just a little bit out of reach. Still could have caught it, but dropped it. And then here's another one. This would be a hitch, but they see that there's an obvious wide open gap there. They're looking for the big gain, which they get, except there's a fumble. So defensively, that's what you're hoping for, mistakes from the offense, because it's just hard to be that perfect. But if you can be as efficient as Mike White was over the course of his day, and as accurate, here's another really nice pass, a hard catch, but placed very well in general. It ended up being a drop on review. So I hope you're starting to see some of these similarities here in these completions. They're just killing them with these flat routes and these little stop pitch routes. And if you have a good receiving running back with decent hands and you have a good slot receiver, all you have to do is just know which receiver is running the route to that open zone and just hit it. Here's another one, this time to Elijah Moore. Now, again, the trick is to be this efficient and accurate. That's hard. A lot of teams try this and don't do it. I mean, you've seen New England do it, but it's hard to be that consistent, just taking the field piece by piece by piece. Guys usually get antsy, make some mistakes, errant throws, drop passes, miscommunications. But now this coming up is one of my favorite plays of the day. The tight end runs basically a go route with a glorified head fake. But right here on the right, you have Jamison Crowder, who's kind of running a little zone hitch. And on the left, you have Denzel Mims, who's running an option route where you can either hitch or run a jerk. And because they've been killing them with those routes all day, you have 5 defenders who are all over those 2 receivers. And so what does Mike White do? He acts like he's been doing this forever. He doesn't latch on to the throw he's been hitting all day. He sees it's covered. He looks at the deep safety to make sure he hasn't cheated back too much the other way. He's like, okay, he's wide open, and he just shoots it straight to the tight end for a wide open, easy touchdown to win the game. So we have more film coming in just a moment, and as much as I would love to make a 2-3 hour film breakdown video, there's no time, especially because I want to get this out so people can watch it before the Thursday night game. But here are a few numbers from Mike LaFleur to kind of tell a quicker story about his play calling. And these are over the first 28 offensive plays of the game, not including any offensive penalties that killed the play before it even started. So quick game, which are 3-step drops or less, or just catch release or swing passes, stuff like that. Anything that gets the ball out of the hands very quickly is the idea. Makes up 29% of those plays. Then you have standard rushes, which are inside, outside zone, or power rushes, anything with basically a traditional handoff or toss. Then you have play action making up 18%. And then you got a few screen passes, few jet carries, even a few trick plays, 7-step drop, and a QB sneak mixed in there. So this tells a story, and that is in the beginning of the game, the first 28 offensive plays, they were doing their best to kind of get Mike White comfortable, to not put too much pressure on him, get the ball out of his hands quickly, get the run game going, get the play action passes going. The jet carries, sometimes they're recorded as passes depending on the way it's handed off, but I just include those separately. So it's interesting. Now there's one very clear type of play that's missing from here: the 5-step drop. So after not calling a single 5-step drop for the first 28 offensive plays, he called it more than any other type of play for the remaining 45 offensive plays. Not including the Josh Johnson plays, there was only 5, kind of just setting those aside. But basically, Mike LaFleur realized that Mike White was playing well, was playing confidently, was playing efficiently, and so he transitioned from the quick game and standard rushing attack as the primary offensive focus to quick game and 5-step drop, which he hadn't even been using initially. And so that is just a very interesting adjustment, a mid-game adjustment that I saw as I watched this game. And initially, I just figured he probably wasn't that good at it, because when you're watching the game live, you're not necessarily watching for the exact number of drop steps in a drop, but when you watch the game film, you can really pick this stuff out. And so I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you some of his 5-step drops now, because we did basically a couple of play action passes and all quick games so far. So let's see what he does in that 5-step drop game that got Mike White so confident. Because this is a soft cover 4 shell that they're playing in the 2-minute drill right before half, White recognizes that there is going to be a hole in front of this safety behind this linebacker for the dig route from Keelan Cole. Basically, as soon as the linebacker breaks, he throws with anticipation before Cole is even out of his cut and completes an 11-yard pass for a first down. Nice job. Very next play, similar coverage, but they're pressing, so he says, I'm going to run my running back straight at you, linebacker, and make you look dumb. That is Logan Wilson. He was victimized all game. Now, we will throw this out there. The guy who plays his position for the Colts is a dude named Darius Leonard. So we might have to change things up a little bit. Now, that is the last 5-step drop I'm going to show you. It is easily his best throw of the day. It has the best touch, although it is still a fairly straight trajectory, but he puts it right on a spot, perfectly timed. Now, I'm going to point out the bad stuff here a little bit too, and there's not a lot, but the 7-step drop is not his thing. The first one, right decision, bad timing, ends up as a pick. I'm not going to draw up all the plays because the decisions are all good. It's not anything new. It's just bad timing, except this particular one. It's a sack. So far, 2 7-step drops. We have a pick and a sack. He's not getting the ball out quickly. He's just not comfortable with it. The next one, it's a terrible overthrow. Right decision, just not synced up. clearly not comfortable with him. Now, here's the last one, incomplete on a 2-point conversion attempt. And they don't have practices, only walkthroughs. So, I mean, they're probably just going to take 7-step drops right out of the game. Because how do you fix that in a couple of days, for Indy? And the last one, I just haven't seen him throw touch very well. He didn't attempt it very much, so I'm just playing the same play 3 times. But look, it's a wheel route, wide open, would be a huge gain, should be an easy throw. He just doesn't have the touch, and it's just not there. So, as you can see, the things that really stood out to me are 1, 5-step drops and quick game. He's doing very, very well at. He knows where he wants to go, and he's decisive with the football. He's also very accurate. Downside, deep passing, which he did very, very little of. The only one I saw was that terrible overthrow. 7-step drops in general, which usually look to go a little bit deeper down the field, and that timing just doesn't seem to be there. And touch doesn't seem to be there really either. But I will say that it was pretty clear that Michael Fleur had a good handle on what Mike was good at and effective at and comfortable with. And although there isn't a lot of time to turn around and infuse new stuff into the offense for him, there's also not a lot of game tape on it. So it goes both ways. I just have a hard time believing they fixed the 7-step drop stuff that quickly. But that's it. I'm Max Dean. Remember, you can find me on Twitter at Pan Am Football. Hit the like, hit subscribe, share the video. Let's get it out there to all the Jets and Colts fans before tonight. Thank you.